All right. Welcome in to Big Hitters Only. It is 9:24 p.m. on Saturday, March 7th. UNC just fell to Duke 76-61. They covered the 17.5. Dude, first of all, happy birthday, David. We got David Ray Allen, and Spenser Dalton on here. David, happy birthday, birthday chambray shirt.
Always. Little birthday denim. Who says no?
30 years old, huh?
That's right. Can you believe
Spenser, how old are you?
32.
Okay. I'm 39. Turned 40 in 2 months.
I'm scared of that for you.
Getting up there, dude.
I know. All right, guys. We'll get into a lot of things here. It's going to be a fun podcast. Tar Heels lose. We'll get into some UNC stuff, some Duke stuff, some tournament stuff, and a little off-topic stuff here. We'll get you out of here in about 30 minutes. Really appreciate David and Spencer's time. I mean, first of all, my take on this game is it was so intense. Like, I feel like UNC fought, and like they were in it, and this game is so different than every other game. It just feels so different. I thought UNC brought the fight there in the first half, and you're like, okay, we got a game. Let's get Spenser, like your initial thoughts, just kind of first half, how you're feeling, and we'll get into some particulars here about certain players and certain parts of the game, and then just kind of get into UNC and the whole scheme of things here first.
The first half felt kind of the same as the first half in Chapel Hill. It's like Duke is clearly ahead, but they're not ahead by that much. We're within striking distance. What was it? 7 points at halftime, something like that. So there were some pretty big defensive things going on for us in the first half and for the rest of the game as well that hurt us really badly. But coming out of the first half, I'm thinking like, well, okay, maybe there's a chance. I'm not getting overly hopeful, but it seemed like there was a chance. And then come out, hit a couple of shots first thing in the second half, and then Duke goes on just a bruiser of like an 18-minute run. I mean, they just absolutely squashed everything that Carolina tried to do in the whole second half. So, covered the point spread, but overall kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, cover the points for what a sad state of affairs we're in when we're celebrating that.
Yeah, God.
David,
I'm not celebrating it. I'm just pointing it out.
Yeah,
because
of course.
That was ridiculous. 17.5 points. I mean, holy cow.
Welcome to the John Shire, Hubert Davis era of the Duke UNC rivalry. David, general thoughts here, kind of your initial kind of 30-foot view here of the game.
Yeah, similar to Spenser, just felt like it was a repeat in a lot of ways of the game at the Smith Center for the first 22 minutes, because the Carolina came out in the second half and actually cut it to 1, I believe, and then you go on like a 31-6 run from there, where it just felt like Carolina was unable to get any good offensive looks, and Duke was getting every offensive look that they wanted on their end. And that's the frustrating part when you're seeing Carolina in the half court feel like they're taking contested threes or turning the ball over. Can't wait to talk about that. Whereas on the other end, Duke is getting Boozer back to the basket on a guy who he wants to be back to the basket on.
Yeah.
Or Sarr is open in the corner for a three, which he did against UNC at the Smith Center, and he did again tonight, knocking down, I think he ended up with 2 tonight and had 3 or 4 in the first game. So to me, it was just a stylistic issue once the run started, where Carolina just couldn't get into a good offense. And then when you can't do that, it's hurting you on the other end.
This is a really good Duke team, and I've said it a couple of times, especially with the pod with Adam. I would encourage people listening to this to go listen to the Adam podcast from the midweek. Like, the Duke team on paper, like, doesn't scare you outside of Boozer, but it's just so well coached. It's got the number 1 defense in the nation, and they suffocate you once they get a lead, and we saw that. UNC fought. Was there in the second half, and then it was a 16-0 run, and you had some numbers there as well. Spenser is like, UNC couldn't score and you felt that pressure. Like, all right, every possession UNC had to score, and then Duke was getting just easy looks. I mean, I remember one play where Boozer just caught the ball so low. It kind of an example of how easy their looks were versus how difficult it was for UNC to score. And that's kind of what you get when you don't have Caleb Wilson. Like, they couldn't get the easy basket, and so like every missed three just compounds. Like, all right, that's a great opportunity. That was a shot, and then it was so tough. They couldn't get any easy baskets. Not much in transition. Bogovat hit that first three. And I was like, okay, that's what you need. You need Luka.
Yeah.
First three, confidence booster. Here we go. Maybe he hits a couple in the first half and a couple in the second half, and that's the game you need from a guy like him. And I'm not sure he hit one more three, I think, in the game, but finished. I mean, I felt Luka played horrible.
2 of 6 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, but really it was the turnovers. I mean, 4 turnovers.
And it felt like more than that. Did it not feel like more turnovers?
Yeah.
I feel like every time he got the ball trying to create, he would turn it over.
I don't see a deflections stat on stat broadcast right now, but I'd be willing to bet. Let's see here. Duke forced 14 turnovers. I bet they had 25 deflections. Like, just Malik Brown. Oh my gosh. Hate watching him, but boy, if I was a Duke guy, I'd be happy to have him on the team. That guy is an unbelievable defender. So pesky, so long, so disruptive. Really just makes you angry. I mean, holy cow, I was waiting for Bayside to just pop him one right in the nose for just constantly being so up in his business. They were going at it all night. But like, Duke is so disruptive on defense. They do 3 things really, really well. They pressure the ball on the perimeter. So their guards and the big guys get out there. You know, Cameron Boozer is not afraid to be 25 feet from the basket, D'ing up somebody. So they pressure the ball really well out on the perimeter, which pushes the offense out. So it's harder for anyone, and Carolina tonight, certainly in the second half, to get into any offensive flow. They're really good with their hands, so lots of steals, lots of deflections. I already touched on that. And they guard the ball screen really well. Hard hedges, blitzes. I mean, how many times were we trying to set kind of like a wing side ball screen, and the dribbler just had nowhere to go? They couldn't turn the corner because they're hard hedging on the high side. They can't go low because the screener's standing right there, and there's a guy in the corner with help side defense. So we were just like sunk from the get-go in a lot of these like sort of little kind of slow side ball actions, which, you know, the ball screen is a primary way that Carolina gets into its offense. It's like I probably 60+% of the time, 75% of the time, we set a ball screen of some kind. It might even be as high as 80 or 90. And Duke seemed to blow them up really badly. We got some action in the first half, but, you know, that dwindled pretty quickly in the second.
Yeah, I mean, dude, 11 steals for Duke, like, that seems like a massive number. 11 steals. UNC had turnovers. 14 turnovers. Like, 11 steals seems like a lot. And it felt that way. It felt that way. Like, just like so many deflections and steals. Luka just kind of, I don't know why they tried to. It just they made things so hard that it just forced UNC to do things they weren't supposed to be doing. Like, I didn't see Luka have any catch and shoot threes after that first one, or like they weren't running anything for him to get him open. And so he was forced at times to drive, which is just not his game.
No.
The best offense it felt like UNC had was Seth Trimble driving a little bit here and there. And it was just a lot of one-on-one stuff and just threes by Derek Dixon. It's just super disruptive defense by Duke. It just seemed like UNC never gotten any sort of offensive rhythm where they could really get like anything going from multiple players.
Yeah, little run, kind of late in the first half. Went on maybe a 6 or an 10-point run to get it pretty close, and again, it just dried up so quickly. I mean, and you know, we can't discount that this game was in Cameron. Like, the crowd is vicious. It's so incredibly loud. It's really, really hot. I mean, you can't discount that, like, Hubert Davis is barking orders over on the side, and like you literally just can't hear what he's
Yeah.
saying at all. It's so incredibly loud in there. And so, especially when the Cameron Crazies are like getting up after, trying to get a defensive stop, like you can't get in a rhythm. It's like your head is pounding. It's so loud in there. So, a lot of things working against the Heels tonight.
Yeah, and like a good defense, like it just got UNC
Mhm.
out of anything they wanted
Yeah.
to do. And like I'll give credit, David. I don't know what you think about this, but like they push the ball, like they try to push it, try to get advantages in certain ways. Like I felt good. I was like, damn, they're fighting. Like I really was like, man, they're in this. They're fighting. They're taking advantage of opportunities they had. They're in. Like I left the first half feeling pretty good in that run. David, what'd you see? Like, what do you think went wrong in that run? Like, what went wrong for UNC in that second half?
Yeah, I mean, I think aside from some of the stuff we've already talked about, you're missing Wilson's rebounding presence for sure. I mean, for Duke to get, I think ended up being 18 offensive rebounds, and it felt like there were several series where there were 3 offensive rebounds on a single possession. We've noted all season. I think it's funny that it's the 3 of us because we did a preview and then we've done one in the midway point. It's like we've talked about Vasar having a hard time rebounding at times. We've talked about, like, aside from him, if who is going to be the guy who can get you 6 or 8 consistently. Like Jonathan Powell has been a tremendous rebounder at times this season. He didn't have it tonight. So I think that's big. And then Ross, we talk about this all the time too, but like non-Derek Dixon, 3 of 16 from 3 tonight. And Bogovats kind of bailed UNC out in the Clemson game by hitting 5 threes. And Dixon tonight had a career-high 5 threes and a career-high 15 points. And I don't know where this game is without him, right? Like Seth is struggling from 3. Seth was struggling getting threes off that weren't getting blocked. I think he had 2 or 3 threes get tipped, off the release today. So I think there's something to be said about this team being the first game where they know that they don't have Caleb for the rest of the season, and they're trying to find out like what the identity of this team is going to be for the next, hopefully, 6 or 7 games, 8 games, whatever it will be. And they seemed a little identity-less. That's not a word.
Dude,
at the end.
But that's a great way to say it. Like, I mean, does this team have an identity now without Caleb? You're exactly right. Like, if Seth Trimble's not your guy, and you're counting on him to be your third leading scorer with Caleb and Henry Vasar, and he goes 5 for 11, 0 for 3 from 3, 10 points. Like, this was a game where you would hope that he would be driving and getting fouled and get you 20 points. Because look, I mean, I'm not super impressed about Duke's guards. I think Trimble is a senior and a superior athlete. So you'd hope that he could get you, 18, 20 points. And he goes 0 for 3 from 3. Let's get some stats here. Stevenson, 0 for 3 from 3. I did think Stevenson battled, man. 9 rebounds. It's kind of, I mean, that's honestly, UNC got out rebounded. This is very humorous. 42-29. For some reason, I felt like they were in it. Like Vasar had 9, Jaron Stevens had 9. Like they were rebounding okay. It was the lack of there's so many offensive rebounds by Duke. They were just killers, giving them so many second opportunities.
So many extra possessions, yeah.
18 offensive rebounds by Duke, 5 by UNC. So on the defensive end, it was 24-24 on the defensive rebounds. So they were cleaning it up on the defensive end. It was just a lack of preventing Duke from getting those their offensive rebounds.
I mean, we out-rebounded them in the first half. That's the crazy thing. It was 19-18 in total rebounds in the first half. And then, obviously, you can do the math there on the second. I mean, they get like 20 more rebounds than we did. It's crazy.
How will this stat? Points off turnover. Duke 24, UNC 4. It tells the game. It was just turnovers. Like UNC tries to go down there and score. Turnover going the other way for an easy 2. And there's such a small margin of error with this team. I mean, Duke, they've kind of surprisingly they've become the best team in college basketball. They beat Michigan. They've been killing teams in the ACC. Virginia State recently, and now, I mean, they've They beat UNC pretty handily today. They dominated. I thought they dominated UNC for at least 2/3 of the game in Chapel Hill as well. There's a very, very good team, so there's just not a lot of room for error.
Ross, can I give you one other number?
Jump in, dog.
UNC averaged, by my math, this could be wrong because it's almost 10. 22 free throw attempts this season. No fewer than 10 in any game this season. They had 4 tonight.
It was 2 in the first half, 2 in the second half.
Yeah, and I know that Duke is going to be like, oh, you want to talk about free throw attempts after the last game, but I say that as it's indicative of, I think if UNC is going to make a run in the ACC tournament and in March in the NCAA tournament, it's going to be with driving, it's going to be with drawing fouls, and they're going to have to be a better free throw shooting team, and they're going to have to be closer to 22 than 4 for sure.
And that kind of shows you about the style of play, right? Right, Spencer? Like, you get more free throw attempts when you have a physical inside presence and you're drawing fouls down low. And that's just not the way this team plays, especially without Caleb Wilson, especially without the physicality of Vasar. Vasar, I mean, he had a couple dunks and a couple kind of easy baskets, but he wasn't really a dominant post presence that we've seen in games before. 11 points, a quiet 11, I would say. 1-3, 5 for 7 for the field, but most of those were kind of just easy putbacks and an alley-oop here or there, or whatever. It's not like he was like doing the dirty work downstairs, like which Wilson's done. Yeah, 4. Hey, we made every one. 4 for 4 from free throws. It's just not a physical team, man.
I think this goes back to Duke disrupting Carolina's offensive flow. One of the ways that you get to the free throw line is because you've made the defense make a mistake. They're fouling out of desperation because you got by them on a drive and they're having to try to block it and they hit your arm. Or it's a post up and you're banging with them inside and you make a good move and they have to foul. A big guy. Carolina had few, if any, clean post ups tonight. You know, you saw like Jaren Stevenson trying to back Boozer down. Let's call a spade a spade. He got nowhere with that. He's doing everything he possibly can to score and just get to his left shoulder to shoot a jump hook or a turnaround. He made one turnaround jumper, if what I remember correctly, but like he just got nothing. Vasar, you know, he's not the best like back to the basket kind of post up scorer, but like Malik Brown was in his shit all night. He couldn't even catch the ball, let alone like dribble it once or twice and try to make a move. And so on top of us not having any offensive flow on the perimeter to get into the driving lanes and forcing the defense to try to make up for the fact that they're behind, we didn't get any of those post-ups, and just like I'm talking about. So it's just a really like perfect storm from Duke's defense being so disruptive. Now, I will say, like, you can't just let a team manhandle you like that. It's like we used to talk about this a lot, like in practice when I was on the team. It's like, who cares what they're doing? Set your man up by walking down into the lane, popping out, catching the ball right on the three-point line, turn and face up, triple threat position, basic fundamental basketball stuff, set a solid screen, make a hard, crisp cut, and like this pressure is alleviated by just doing really physical, straightforward basketball stuff. And to your point, Ross, we just like didn't do a good job of that tonight, and at times have really done a poor job of it throughout the season.
Let's take a break real quick. Rowback.com. Use new promo code, Big Hitters 20, BIGHITTERS 2020. Get your golf polos, dude. Spenser, dude, I'll tell you this. We got 2 really good golfers on the pod here. Get your golf polos. David, what's your handicap right now?
I'm a 9. I got under 10 for the first time since high school. Spence, but you're really good, aren't you? What are you at these days?
Posted a few high scores. I'm at a 2 right now, just below 2.
Yeah, there we go, Spence. Hey, we need to get out on the golf course because Ross has one of the ugliest swings I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, I'm getting better and better. I played shout out Griffin Kennedy, a big hitter listener. I played Crowsdale yesterday. Big Hitters 20 on Rowback. Get your golf polos, get your vests, get your Q-Zips. It's golf season. Get yourself a polo shirt. Get your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, your fiance. There's tons of options. Doesn't have to be the UNC collection. Anything for first-time buyers. Rowback.com, promo code BigHitters20. I wore a Q-Zip yesterday on the course. I have tons of Rowback gear. The sweatshirts are great. We had a great month last month. It's ebbs and flows, but it really helps us pay Garrett and Connor. Shout out behind the scenes. A couple sales here and there helps me pay them a little bit to keep this podcast going and have the fun we're having here. The fun we're having here on Saturday night at 9:45 as UNC loses to Duke. God, I didn't. 2, Spenser? Are you serious? Unreal.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
I've been lower too. I'll toot the horn. I've been lower. I got into the plus range for the first time last summer. Played some really good golf in the middle of the summer. Got down to like a plus 0.2.
We may have to do like a big hitters because Wayne House, I think David knows Wayne.
Love
Spenser
Wayne.
knows Wayne from Twitter. I mean, Wayne is listening. He's a 3, 4, 5 handicap. I play with David. It's different playing with a guy that's under 10. I'm just hoping not
Let's
to lose.
do it, man. Let's get out there. I'll drive down to Raleigh anytime.
Well, you got your country club up there in Virginia Beach too, Spenser.
Oh yeah, that's true. Hey man, come up to the beach, dude.
Love it. All right. So how about this? I would like let's get David on this, and we'll get Spenser diving in. What did y'all think about I feel like I saw it more in the first 10, 15 minutes of the game of Vasar double teaming the catch when Cameron Boozer caught the ball. I didn't love taking our best physical, lengthy guy to the ball. Like, I didn't love the double team decision. So anytime Cameron Boozer caught the ball, it was an automatic double team from Henry Vasar. That was the play. Take him away from Malik Brown. Malik Brown obviously is not like a three-point shooter, not a huge offensive threat. That's my zen that comes out of my teeth here. I didn't love that. Like, why not bring a guard? Bring a guard off the worst shooter to double team. David, early thoughts, and we'll get the real basketball IQ guy on this.
See, so my actual beef was with on the opposite end when they kept getting Vasar onto Brown, and I was thinking that was the matchup you would want, and then we would end up with a post-up with Stevenson on Boozer instead of Vasar on Brown. And I'm like, wait, you got the matchup you want. You have the undersized big, and Malik Brown ended up having a heck of a night. But I was more frustrated with Vasar on the offensive end, and I know Spenser. I'll let Spenser take it away on the defense because that was the bigger issue on that end was with Boozer getting doubled and what that created for Duke in terms of open shots. I think is that right?
And first of all, Boozer's like a great passer too.
He is a great passer.
Like
absolutely.
it's almost like they want you to double team him.
Because they also are going to have 4 shooters around him. I'm not looking at. I can pull it up, but like from 3 tonight, they were 10 for 32, which honestly is not that great. But the guys who needed to hit threes. So,
yeah, they took some ill-advised threes, which I think swayed that stat a little bit. But oh my gosh, guys, the double teaming, it was really bad. So I'm not going to argue necessarily with like the why behind double teaming. It's like, okay, you don't want Cameron Boozer to get the ball one dribble away from the block and get an easy layup. He did that anyways for the most part tonight, but you don't want to just give that to him. So we double team by bringing Vasar across the lane. And there were 2 things that were so incredibly bad about these double teams tonight. The double teams came far away from the lane. So Vasar has to run from the opposite side of the lane all the way to the other side, 2 or 3 steps outside the lane to the point where Boozer's almost at the 3-point line, and they're still doubling him. And then the unforgivable part of it is that the defensive rotations they just didn't happen. Like the furthest weak side, I'm like motioning over here like I'm on camera. The furthest weak side guy on the opposite side has to rotate to guard the guy who just left. Like, go put a hand in front of Visar's guy who he just left. And then the other two guys have to get in the gaps that are being covered. And that just didn't happen. They just there were a couple times where they just threw it straight to the guy underneath the basket because nobody was guarding him, and they just laid it up without even a guy on him. So it's I'm not gonna say the coaching staff is wrong for double teaming. I think getting the ball out of Cameron Boozer's hands is a pretty good thing, but it's just the way that it happened tonight was not good. It was really, really not good.
I just don't like bringing your best shot blocking option and defensive rebounder, moving him away from the basket.
Yeah, if anything,
that's a very simple.
You want to keep him closer to the basket, so it's even if gets the leg up on Stevenson, Visar can fly in from the weak side and swat that thing, get it out of bounds, dude. You get a weak side shot blocker. That's good stuff,
Yeah.
And Malik Brown isn't the greatest offensive player, so it's you might kind of feel okay leaving him alone for just a beat until a rotation can happen. But yeah, on defense too, the communications, especially on the screens and exchanges, were lacking in the first half. There were a bunch of times where they just got mixed up and a guy gets an open drive, or we hit an open guy who's rolling, who just nobody was guarding him. Oh gosh, I had another thing, something that happened in the second half related to defensive stuff. Oh, and the switching. How many times tonight did we get a guard switched on to Cameron Boozer?
Yeah.
A lot.
I noticed
Derek
that too.
Dixon and Seth Trimble had to guard Cameron Boozer so many times tonight because they just haphazardly switch in a ball screen on the perimeter when it's maybe we don't want this. Again, this is a coaching staff decision. I'm not here to criticize the staff's decisions. They have a strategy that they felt strongly with. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying if you're going to do something, do it the right way. And don't switch a tiny guy onto a huge guy and guarantee a mismatch. Do something else. That.
Yeah, it's always funny hearing kind of Spenser kind of try to tightrope walk the fact that he played for Hubert Davis in JV and has a tie to the program. Yeah, man. I mean, I also dude, Shire is a great coach. It is clear. He is a good offensive coach. He's their offensive coordinator. It's very clear. He knows what he's doing. Who's got background noise there? You got a party going there, David?
No.
Maybe Spencer's got some friends over.
Don't, man. Nobody's here.
Anyway, okay.
Dude, Ross, after his night with friends, trying to listen to Spencer diagram offense, and then now he's hearing things. I'd love to see Ross. At one point, I thought Ross had a tooth fall out. Let me get one take off though, right quick, which is I'm not going to criticize coaching either. But I just want to say the one thing that I'm very unsure about is Luka dribbling the ball. That to me is I know that they're probably trying to grow him as a player, maybe into a little bit more of a combo guard, but I would simply have Luka not dribble the ball at this point because he can't pass and he really can't dribble. And it's funny, sometimes he'll call for a screen when he has the ball, and the big man's like, no, I don't no. So I think something's got to give with that. That's something that's going to to because he's going to be vital to this team.
Ball really far away from his body. It's he's always doing this with the ball. It's dude, keep that shit tighter, man. You're gonna get swatted away. Protect the ball.
Example of someone who didn't grow up playing in the YMCA leagues of an urban community in the United States. Look, I don't think take a step back here. Let's just kind of this game's UNC lost. I don't think anybody expected us to win. It would have been awesome if UNC had kept close and potentially pulled out a victory. It didn't happen. I will say, dude, I will give this team credit. I thought they fought. Dude, they looked better in this game they did for 2/3 of the game in Chapel Hill, I thought. It was an intense, awesome Duke Carolina game in the first half. And I was like, dude, let's go. They are bringing it to them. It is such a different type of game, and it felt that way. It felt intense. It felt like UNC was bringing the fight as much as Duke was bringing the fight. and ultimately the better team won. I think Duke's a way better team. They're the number one team in the nation. They have the best player in the nation by far who's going to win the National Player of the Year, and he showed that, and it's just hard. You just saw him, like, you saw Zayden High trying to guard him. You're like, these are completely two different level of players. So let's take a step back here. UNC's going to be the 4th seed in the ACC tournament. Oh, what's their record? I don't even have the record in front of me. Anybody got the record in front of you? I always don't do this before the game. But
UNC
7 losses, I think. Is that
24
right?
and 7. 24 and 7 now.
24 and 7. And look, I think I will give Hubert Davis credit for how they handled the time without Caleb Wilson. They went 5-1, and now 5-2 without Caleb Wilson. Close the season 12-6 in the ACC, 24-7 heading to the ACC tournament. They have the double bye, which is a big goal. They'll be the 4th seed. There's a chance they'll play Duke again on Friday in the Spectrum Center in uptown Charlotte. The regular season's over. It's just an incomplete season without Caleb Wilson, and it sucks. And it's just a bizarre situation, which we have to deal with now. I don't even know where I'm taking this, but I'll say this: Hubert Davis coming back next year. I don't think there's any way he gets fired, barring some crazy situation where he loses in the first round. I don't know. I still think he's coming back. He did an admirable job, and there's a built-in excuse with Caleb Wilson playing. How do y'all? That's a good kind of segue here, David. How do you kind of put this regular season, into words here? Here with it over here on Saturday.
Yeah, I think anytime that you go 18-0 at home, it's a successful season. I think that's an incredible accomplishment. I think if anybody's arguing that it's not, they're wrong. To beat Kansas, to beat Duke, I'm forgetting another Kentucky.
Huge wins. And Virginia was big too.
Virginia was big too. And Virginia was big because it felt like the season could have gone one of two ways in that game. So those are huge to get Caleb and to be able to let him show what it's like to be a premier player in the nation on Carolina. It hadn't happened in a while. So that was big. And I think, it's incomplete because this was a team that I still thought could go on a run. And now I feel like the ceiling is getting through the first weekend, personally, and maybe grabbing a Sweet 16 game. But that feels like the ceiling to me because this team is just going to run into teams that are going to be able to be deeper than them, be able to shoot the ball more reliably. But like, this is a big proving ground for a lot of the guys who you hope come back next year to be a staple part of the team next year, including Dixon, who, had a big game tonight. So the ACC tournament looks like they're going to get the winner of Clemson and, a couple lower seeds. You'd love to see them get a win under their belt because then it's going to be Duke and then it's the tournament time. And, I will be interested to see how UNC gets seeded in the tournament without Caleb, given that has played an effect into seeding in previous years. I think they've proven being 5-2 without Caleb. Like, obviously, this is still a good team. This is not a tournament team, but we'll be interested to see where they end up in March.
UNC gets the winner of Clemson versus the winner of Virginia Tech, Wake Forest, who play on Tuesday. So likely, Clemson's the likely matchup there, but it could be Virginia Tech, Wake Forest. Spenser, how do you put in towards this season as you sit here now after the Duke defeat?
Yeah, I'll say something about tonight to start with. Like, this game was for bragging rights. We know that this wasn't going to affect our ACC tournament seeding. Probably not going to affect our NCAA tournament seeding. We already got one win against Duke earlier in the season, so it's like, okay, we lost. It sucks. It's terrible. You hate it, but you can live with it, I guess. If you'd have told me that Caleb Wilson was going to get hurt and we're going to go 5-2 a few weeks ago before this all happened, I'd be like, well, that doesn't sound too bad. I think I can live with that. And I think you could also say, as much as I don't want to deal in a hypothetical, like, if this team doesn't lose at Cal and at Stanford, this whole season is viewed really differently, man. Like, that's a 5-loss team. I think my senior year when we were the number one team, we lost 5 games. Like it, that's uh,
Yeah,
a very
seven
solid
losses.
season. Yeah,
7 losses is not crazy.
yeah, and so up and down season, some really really big wins, some really really bad losses. Um, I like the fight that this team showed at varying points within this season. Um, so I don't know. It's hard to sum it up again, just because there were some things, specifically that West Coast road trip, that really really hurt. Things that just shouldn't have happened, but they did. So you have to deal with them. So I'm just hoping that we can put up a fight in the ACC tournament. Hoping that we can make it into that second weekend. And I'm thinking about the NCAA here. So let's say we're a 5 seed. So you're
It'll be a 6
playing
seed, I think.
6 seed. Okay, all right.
I think so.
Still not that much difference. So as a 6 seed, you're playing an 11 seed. So you're playing a decent
teams that barely got in, right? Teams that barely got
you're playing a decent enough. You're playing like a halfway decent mid major who won their conference.
Yeah.
Or a bubble team of some kind.
Yeah.
So you feel pretty confident you can win that game, at least on paper. So next game, you're matched up against the winner of a 14-3. So maybe you get lucky and you're playing a mid-major who upset a great team. Or you're playing a 3 seed, and it's like, Carolina has shown that they can beat some damn good teams this year. So it's like, all right, well, they're just a 3 seed. We're a 6 seed. You take a couple of bad losses out of our record, and it's like, okay, well, maybe we're a 3 or a 4 seed. So you feel confident enough. So making it into the second weekend doesn't really seem like that big of a stretch, in my opinion.
Yeah.
As long as we don't go ice cold from 3-point land and forget how to box out.
I think the key, I'll throw this out. I'll throw this out here tonight. Kyan Evans, 0 points, 1 shot, 0 for 1, 8 minutes, -14. He was counted on to be your 14 points.
He's overmatched 14
points. He was counted on to be your point guard and your 14 points a game score. Just want to throw that out there. So they really changed the math on your roster, right? Like that's the guy you count on. That's all about roster construction, and that happens across the nation on teams everywhere. Like if you don't hit on your key transfer gets, it really affects the math on your roster. Great point. I think if they don't make it to the Sweet 16, that's a disappointment. I think it'd be very expected for them not. I mean, it's just tough. Like, I'd be disappointed if they don't make it to the Sweet 16, but I would not be surprised if they do not make it to the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
I can see them easily losing the first round, easily losing the second round. I've seen too many games. It's just, it happens. It's all at matchups, and one guy's not hot. Bokovac and Powell don't hit a 3, and you lose the game.
Mm-hmm.
How I put this season into where it's just so different. You miss, it's hard, and you're missing your best player. With Caleb Wilson on this team has a Final Four ceiling. Without him, it's a round of 32 ceiling because he is such a game changer. You saw what he did in the first game against Duke in the first half. Get a basket anytime, 20 points, 18 points guaranteed, 8 rebounds guaranteed. That's just such a game changer. And you look at the roster now, there's no one you can really count on. Look at Vasar today. Thought you count on Vasar? 11 points. Derek Dixon 17. Like you didn't count on that, but like there's no one you can really count on. You can't count on Seth Trimble to get you 15 points. You just can't count on that.
No.
But with Caleb, you could count on him to get you 16, 18 points. And with him, with the gravity he gets, double teams he gets, it changes everything. So it just sucks. We don't get to see his team at full health, and it changes how you look at the season, how you look at Hubert Davis's 5th season. And I think you hope to win a game, maybe get a good matchup in the next game, and then maybe get the Sweet 16. I don't feel good about us facing Duke in the second round or the second game of the tournament either.
No, that's a scary prospect. I'll agree on that. Like, I think the real tragedy of this season is injuries. I mean, you lose Visar for what, 2 games or something like
Yeah.
that. Seth Trimble's out for 9 games. Earlier in the season, obviously Wilson. Like, this team played so few games at 100% strength. Like, what, maybe a third of the 30 or so games? And that's a real tragedy, man. Like, it's just so unfortunate. Yeah, I think if I'm going to feel sad about something, that's what I'm feeling sad about. It's not the wins and the losses. It's just that, like you said, Ross, we didn't get to see this team at full strength for a full season, and we're certain, and obviously not in the postseason either.
You know how I want back next year? I want Dixon back. I want Powell back. I want Stevenson back. I want
Yep.
Luka back. If you can bring back those 4, pay them, keep some continuity, and then bring in an alpha guard, whether it be a combo guard, and then you gotta hit the portal for a center. If Vasar does, I don't think Vasar's coming back. I don't know anything. Who knows? and you find a stud shooting power forward. Anyway, all right. We're here at 41 minutes. We don't have to get. Dude, I'll give Hubert Davis credit without the injuries. Despite the injuries, I thought, they kept things respectable down the stretch here. They fought versus Duke and put themselves in position to be in a good position here against for the AC tournament and against NCAA tournament. Let's break. Anything else on this team?
Not just I think they need to build confidence as this unit. If they are able to win the Clemson game, watch out, see if they can't give Duke a run. Same with the tournament. It's like I kind of feel like if they win the round of 64, I like them in the round of 32. But it's like I think this is one of those teams that can get hot and win a couple if they see the ball go in this neutral site that they're going to be playing at for the next two tournaments. So
say this, man, like you just got to hit shots. Like Luka and Powell, Dixon, Trimble just have to hit shots because you don't have the reassurance of a Caleb Wilson. And Vasar has to be dominant. When he's dominant, it's a beautiful thing, and he wasn't dominant tonight against Duke. Y'all good on time? You want to do a little wedding talk here? We'll talk again. We don't have to do it now. You got time?
Yeah,
let's go for it, man.
All right. Coming off a Utah bachelor party. I got another bachelor party coming up. I got 2 bachelor parties.
2 bachelor parties. Look
a lot
at
of
this
friends.
guy.
A lot of friends, David.
Did you get the invite? I mean,
I want both. Actually, I'll say this. I want both of y'all to stay ready. We may need a 16th golfer on Friday. I may need to be. Yeah, exactly.
They gotta go to the righty.
I may need someone to come up to golf on the Friday coming up here in a couple of weeks. I may do another pod with y'all about this. Let's just get here a little fun thing here. Let's go David first. David's been married for a while here. I'm getting married here in 5 weeks. David, give me a good 2 minutes here on the wedding.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. What are we looking for specifically? The wedding
I want
specifically?
you to give me a little bit wedding, like day of wedding focused talk, and then give me a minute on like advice to being married.
I was going to do the thing about like whatever your instinct is, you're probably wrong because I know you and I love you, and I think whatever you think you should do, you should probably do the opposite. Wedding specifically,
George Costanza.
Yeah, exactly. Do the Costanza, dude. Wedding, enjoy it. The thing is, like I always say, like it's the one time in your life that everyone in the room like knows you, loves you, cares about you, and that didn't hit me until I was in there, where I was like looking around and I was like, these are all people here celebrating me. Like that never happens. Like it's just so rare. Have fun on the dance floor. And I will say this, the big thing is like, I didn't eat anything at my wedding. And it's one of my big regrets is that basically we were just walking around, shaking hands, kissing babies. So sit down and eat yourself a plate. I've told everyone that. Like literally sit down and enjoy it. It's a party for you. So make sure you get some food. That's my wedding advice. Literally I asked, I asked Haley before we got on. I said that you were going to ask for marital advice. If we couldn't come up with much, I said maybe I should say to go to sleep angry instead of don't go to sleep angry, because that's what you always hear. Maybe you're tired, or you both need to go to sleep and wake up the next morning and talk about it with clear heads. But I've seen you and your bride. I think you guys are going to do great. I'm just thrilled that you're getting married, and
You're like, I never thought he would get here.
I mean, when I met Vicky, I was like, this feels like a Make-A-Wish situation for Ross. With all due respect, this is this is an insane setup. So you've outkicked your coverage, and so my advice to you is you need to be doing everything you can to hang on to that, to hang on to Vicky, because she's great. And I know that she's busy and she has like a real job, respectfully again to you, with sitting here talking to the two of us at 10 o'clock. So you need to be cleaning and keeping the house looking right. That's what I'm saying.
Give me something. Give me a good like marriage in the heat of it. You don't have kids. No, both of y'all don't have kids. Give me one good, example of a marital advice that you would just like a phrase or something that would help me carry on.
All I'll say is that, okay, I'll give you this and then I'll kick it to Spenser. I think sometimes it's easy to think about things as if you're on two different sides, right? And you have to remind yourself a lot of the time that ultimately you're on the same team, right?
Yeah.
And that's something that you can lose sight of in the heat of battle, whatever it's about. So always remembering that Vicky's got your best interest at heart. That's what you gotta keep that at the core and go from there.
That's great advice. Yeah, same team. All right, Spenser, a newlywed. You're what? You're two months in.
Just over 2 months. Yeah.
All right, so give me a day of wedding. It's a great I think it's so cool. Like, you're bringing all your friends together. I mean, I've got friends from I'm almost 40 years old. You got friends from all aspects of your life: high school, college, post-college, living in Nashville, living in Raleigh, all aspects of your life coming together. It's just really cool. Like, I love the idea of bringing all my weirdo freak friends together for one night. Spenser, give me one wedding day kind of thing that you kind of take away, and then give me relationship advice, 2 months in versus, and also, like, you've obviously been with your wife now for multiple years.
Yeah. Maybe not necessarily wedding day specifically, but like you're just not going to sleep for like the night before the rehearsal dinner, after the rehearsal dinner, obviously, and then the night of the wedding. Like, you're just not going to sleep. You're going to be like pumped full of adrenaline. You're going to be riding like a really incredible wave of happiness and joy. I mean, like, you got all of your best friends there that are there to make sure that you have the best time possible. And, there's a literal high from it. At least I felt that way. I was just like overjoyed. And so I probably slept 5 hours in 3 days. And they were low quality hours. And so no sleeping. Enjoy it. Spend the time with your friends. Don't be afraid to ask one of your groomsmen. Is like, hey man, like, can you go handle this for me, please? They're your groomsmen. They'll do it for you, and they should. So one pro tip. This is a pro tip on the actual ceremony reception.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, you can text your wedding planner or your organizer or whoever you've got kind of directing the show the day of. Even if it has to be your parents, somebody like that, get them to make a plate for you and put it down at the place setting. Like, we came in from after the ceremony and we did the big walkout and everything like that. And might have been like a speech or something like that. And then we sat down to eat. Everybody else had to go wait in the lines and do all the food. We didn't do a seated dinner. We just had too many people. But our wedding planner had a full spread for my wife and I, just sitting there waiting for us. So we actually did get to eat. I mean, I didn't enjoy it because I was shaking hands and kissing babies, like D-Ray just said. But
Spenser and I are worried about your diet, though, man. We need to get you fed. Man.
Yeah, dude. The food thing is not that's not a concern of mine. Like, the big dog eats.
I know it's like it is. You got to have something to eat, though, man. Like, I don't know. I think. And then marriage advice. this is specific to me perhaps, but I think a lot of women are like this. They like things to be clean. So just suck it up and clean. Just
Yeah.
suck it up and clean, dude. Like, don't leave the kitchen dirty,
It's a
man.
good
Dirty
example.
dishes. Nothing makes my wife more mad than dirty dishes. So,
Yeah.
like, clean the kitchen up, man. Wipe the stove off after you cook some eggs and bacon and it's got slathered oil all over the stove, stuff like that, man. And like, fold the blankets in the living room when when you're done using them, or like, I don't know. So stuff like that.
Go the
I think
extra mile,
I think
Ross.
it's
Go the
yeah.
extra
I was about
mile.
to say it's extra mile stuff. I think little things. The big things. I feel like the big things are the easy one. It's like love your wife, like do things together, like be on each other's team. Like D-Ray just said, those are the easy things. I feel like it's the little day-to-day things that you know in your personal life or in your marital life, whatever, those are the things that can be kind of hard sometimes. It's like, I got to go to the gym. Hey, do I really have to go to the gym again today? It's like, yes, go to the gym, the little things. So those made a difference for me.
It's beautiful, guys.
Yeah.
You gonna be
Yeah.
all right, big man.
Love it.
You'll be great, man. It's not going to change that much, dude. Like,
I know.
you'll have a ring on your
We've been living
finger,
together.
but yeah.
We've been living together for 3 years now. Awesome stuff, guys. Really appreciate your time. Guys, check out Big Hitters Only. Wait, Big Hitters 20 on Redback. If you want more of this content. I think, so just, if you're listening to this, if you've gotten this far on the podcast, my plan is to do a big wedding, marriage podcast. I may just cut this from y'all, may have y'all back on to get like a bunch of clips from, dude, all my friends are married. I got like one friend who's not married. So we'll do a big podcast with all the thoughts and advice and things like that. So we appreciate your time. Duke UNC, Tar Heels fall. I meant to talk about this. This is called, sorry to take you more time here, guys, but I think a big issue now, get back on what really matters. There's an issue now. Duke is dominant, and it's a Shire versus I talked about this with a lot of guys yesterday. I played Crowsdale Country Club yesterday with some people, and the issue is this has been a good year for UNC, right? Like all things considered, beating Kentucky, beating Kansas, beating Duke, beating Virginia, like 18-0 at home. It's a pretty good year for UNC. You lose those games at Cal and Stanford. SMU, a couple other, kind of slop losses. It's been a good year, right? Every fan outside of the Duke UNC rivalry would take this season, right?
Yep.
But the standard is compared to John Shire at Duke, who is completely rolling. And it's it is a comparison that's unfair, but the standard at UNC is so high. I mean, like, what do y'all think about that? And how, like, is the standard too high? Is it like, dude, if Huber's not the guy, like, is there anybody better that could do this? Like, it's just like, it's a pretty good season, but you just compare yourself to what John Shire's doing right now, and he's coaching better than K ever has in these last 2 years with these rosters, these players, these draft picks. And it's frustrating, I think, for a lot of UNC fans. Is there any thought on that? Like how you see UNC right now versus Duke, that I think is a struggle for a lot of UNC fans. Quickly, and we'll get out of here. David?
I mean, I would just say to be glass half full, that in the 3 previous years of Shire at the helm, their Final Four loss, Elite Eight loss, and second round loss. So yeah, they've built. I mean, Duke has mastered the art of going 25-5 and 27-3. Like, they're a great regular season team that has a lot of talent. And so far in the last 10 years, they won the one natty in 14-15, and that's it. So, like, to me, the disparity between the quality of the two programs is overblown because of Duke's ability to flood the zone and be one of the top 5 teams consistently every year in and year out. I hear you in saying that you want UNC to be at that same level year in and year out, and that's the expectation, and I won't deny that. But I would just say that because ultimately postseason success is what you hang your hat on. It's not like Shire has come in and gone, to 3 national championships in 3 years or anything crazy. So,
yeah, Spenser.
By the way, I love how the Zen hit at like minute 53, and you were like, "I know we were done, but by the way, let's talk about UNC macro right quick."
Yeah, I've been thinking about that question because I've been talking about that a lot, and it's like, dude, I mean that's the measuring stick, right? And I know for a fact that a lot of big hitting donors think about that. Like that is the measuring stick. Like you don't want Duke to get too far ahead. And it seems like Duke and Shire have it rolling. They get every player they ever want. It's a money thing now. I do think that UNC has comparable money to a certain extent. But if it comes on Duke UNC, the player is picking Duke. So UNC's getting the next tier of players. And I think the same thing is true in the transfer portal. And so it's just scary that they're going up, right? A pretty stiff upright thing there. And UNC is kind of just trying to stay in touch here. In a game like tonight, and the fact that I think, dude, the last second shot versus Duke in the Smith Center, I mean, Duke dominated that game. And so, you see the difference in the programs right now. That's a unbiased view of this rivalry, that they are controlling the rivalry, and that's got to be frustrating to a lot of people in power at UNC. I think that's a decision-making thing for people that are controlling the program right now. Spenser, and we'll get this is the last thing. Spenser, say your piece, and we'll get out.
Yeah. Gosh, I have so many thoughts on this. You're definitely right that Duke is the measuring stick. That is the reason why this rivalry is so great is because you had two programs that were in the top of the top tier of college basketball year in, year out for the last 50 years, basically. Probably more than that. 60 years even. And I agree with you. Duke has the upper hand. You can maybe make an argument that because we beat him in the Final Four and ended Coach K's career in Cameron, that there's maybe a little bit of a moral leg up there, but I don't know. I don't argue for moral victories.
It seems so long ago. It seems so long ago.
Yeah, it does. It seems forever ago. But you make a lot of really valid points.
Thank
Ross. You. They get better players. They absolutely. I hate to say it. They've objectively gotten better players. They have objectively had more success in the postseason outside of our Final Four run in 22. They have objectively had better regular seasons and better ACC tournaments, except for the one that did we win the ACC tournament with Cormac Ryan? And
we haven't won the ACC tournament, I think,
whatever.
16.
Objectively, Duke has been better. And so it just sucks. It sucks. I don't know. But it's also you can't make a coaching change just based on how we look compared to Duke or how we do specifically compared to Duke. It has to be everything. It's an important piece, sure, but you can't overblow that. It has to be postseason success. It has to be regular season success. It has to be every single little thing. It has to be quality of players, recruiting. Every single thing has to be considered if you're going to make a coaching change. And so, just saying that how we compare to Duke is the most important thing I think is going way too far.
Yeah, it's tough. All right, guys, really appreciate your time. David Ray, Spenser Dalton, Big Hitters Only, Big Hitters 20 on Roback. Appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you next time, sometime during the ACC tournament.